At my new job, my manager forced me to clean toilets instead of doing data work, laughing with HR and saying, "Let's see if she's desperate enough to scrub SHT for her rent." They mocked me as intern maid and denied my raise while stealing my pay. I lost all respect until one email exposed THEM all. I walk into the office on my first day at the new job in Boise, Idaho. I'm fresh out of college as a data analyst, excited to start. My manager, Carla, meets me at the entrance and shakes my hand. "Welcome aboard," she says, smiling. Inside her eyes, I see something else. By the end of the morning, Carla hands me rubber gloves and cleaning supplies. "We've got a little side duty," she says, waving toward the restroom. "We'll see if you're really desperate enough to scrub SHT for your rent," she laughs loudly, and then she walks off with the HR rep Mark, who high-fives her. I freeze for a second. I stare at the cleaning cart at the harsh fluorescent lights. My job description said data analyst. I assumed I'd be working at a desk, tools, spreadsheets, queries, not cleaning toilets. I swallow hard. I think I can do this quietly. I can show that I belong. So I clean the toilets. I scrub the floors. While I'm doing this, Carla and Mark send emails among each other. On my company email, I see one titled Intern Maid Day 1. I open it by accident. They try to hide it, but I see the mocking. They talk about me as if I'm not even an employee. Every day after that, I go into the office. I do the cleaning job. Then I'm asked to log into the data analytics software. Then I submit a little work, because yes, I'm doing data tasks too. But every time I ask for my raise, just $0.25 more per hour, they shut it down. They say poor attitude. They keep sending those internal jokes. They call me Maid in their group chat while at their desks sipping coffee. Inside I'm hurt. Yet I keep silent. I tell myself I'll win them over. I'll show them I'm serious. I'll show up every morning at 8, work until 5, do both the data tasks and the cleaning. I don't tell anyone what they're doing to me. I just hold on. And then one afternoon, 4 months later, I make a discovery. I pull up a contract from the client because my data work is tied to a major external client in Denver. I see the client is paying for data analyst services premium tier $75/hour. I check my pay stub. My rate is much lower, and no proper compensation for the cleaning side job. I do some quick math. The company is billing $75/HR. I'm making maybe $15, $18/HR plus unpaid cleaning. They're pocketing the rest. Anger pumps through me. I stand up, go to the window, stare at the city skyline, my fists clenched. I realize they abused me. They humiliated me. They lied to the client. They misled the contract. And the worst, I let them do it. I kept quiet. But this changes tonight. I log into my email. I compose a message to the client. I attach a spreadsheet I built. It shows hours worked, tasks completed, cleaning hours, everything. I explain that I've been doing the data work under the premium tier rate, yet the company withheld the proper billing. I gently but clearly ask, "Is this the standard arrangement you were told?" I hit send. And then I wait. If you're watching this as a video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below, have you ever been treated like just an intern maid? Let's talk. The next day brings what I never expected. The next morning, I show up to work like normal. I swipe my badge. The scanner turns red. I try again. Same result. Mark, the HR guy, steps out from the break room with a big grin. "System's acting weird today," he says. "Try again in a few." But I notice his eyes flicker. He's hiding something. I go around to the side door. It opens. I head to my desk. That's when I see Carla pacing near the glass conference room, talking fast on the phone, waving her hands. Something is off. I sit down. My monitor doesn't load. My email account says access revoked. I know why. I walk over to the break room. Mark is pretending to fix the coffee machine. I lean against the counter. "Client responded yet?" I ask, cool as ice. He doesn't say anything for a second. Then he chuckles. "You think that email's gonna do anything? You broke protocol. You're lucky we don't fire you for breach of contract." I don't flinch. I just look at him. "If the client doesn't respond, I'll send it to their VP. He stops smiling. By noon, I get a call on my personal phone. Unknown number, I pick up. "Hi, this is Dana Moore from Crestfield Financial. I'm calling about an email we received this morning." Crestfield is the client. My heart thumps. Yes, I'm the one who sent it. She lowers her voice. We had no idea. We were told you were part of their senior analytics team. We've been paying for high-level services and you were cleaning bathrooms. I pause. Yes, ma'am. She's quiet. Then she says, we'll be handling this immediately. Click. I go back to my desk. Still no computer access. I pretend to be on a break. At 2:13 p.m., the front doors open. Two men and one woman in suits walk in, badges out. They go straight to the glass conference room. Crestfield sent their audit team. Carla turns pale. Mark bolts to his office and slams the door. The entire floor goes quiet. I watch from behind the kitchenette. They sit with Carla. 15 minutes in, one of them holds up a document. Carla starts arguing, waving her arms. Then the woman from the audit team opens a file. My email printout. I recognize the spreadsheet I sent. At 3:32 p.m., security walks over. They escort Carla out. She's red-faced, mouthing something under her breath. Mark follows 10 minutes later, looking like he just swallowed a brick. They're fired, but it doesn't end there. The next morning, I get another call from Dana Moore. She wants to meet in person. She flies out to Boise and sits with me at a cafe near downtown. She apologizes, sincerely. We've worked with your company for years, she says, but this, total breach of trust. Then she says something I don't expect. We're hiring in-house analysts now. We want you on the team. Real pay, real role. No more cleaning. I almost laugh. I ask, are you sure I'm not too desperate? She frowns. I'm sorry you were treated that way. I nod. I take the job, but this story isn't over. Because 3 weeks into my new position at Crestfield, I stumble across something strange in the contract logs. A string of vendors, dummy accounts, and one familiar name pops up. Carla. Turns out she had a side scam. 3 weeks into my new job at Crestfield, I'm finally in a real office, doing actual data analysis. No toilets. No mockery. I've got a keycard, a monitor with my name on it, and a paycheck that doesn't insult my intelligence. But then one Thursday afternoon, I get assigned to an internal audit task. I'm sorting through past vendor payments when I notice something weird. There's a recurring payout labeled Blue Pine Consulting, $3,200 every other week for the last 11 months. That name doesn't ring a bell, so I dig. Blue Pine doesn't appear on any official contractor onboarding lists. No contact person, no tax info, no services logged. It's like it just exists to get paid. I check the address listed. It's a P.O. box in Meridian, Idaho, 15 minutes outside Boise. Then I check the business registration on the state website. Owner, Carla Denton. My jaw tightens. Carla, the manager who forced me to clean toilets, mocked me with HR and pocketed the difference between my pay and the client billing, had also set up a fake consulting firm, and Crestfield was unknowingly paying it. She didn't just steal from me, she stole from the client. I go straight to Dana Moore. I bring a full report, screenshots, transaction logs, and the state registry. She reads through it slowly. Her face goes stiff. Then she looks up at me. Do you know how much total this is? I nod. Just under $76,800. Dana leans back in her chair. That's felony-level fraud. I don't say anything. I let it sink in. I'm forwarding this to legal and compliance, she says. Thank you for bringing it forward. I leave her office, heart racing. I thought the Carla chapter was closed. I had no idea I was sitting on a ticking bomb. That weekend, I get a message from someone unexpected. Mark, the HR guy. He found me on LinkedIn. The message is short. I didn't know about Blue Pine, I swear. Carla made me think it was legit. Please don't let this ruin me. I stare at it for a long time. I don't respond. But Monday morning, I add a screenshot of that message to my report and send it to Dana. If Mark wants to distance himself from Carla, he better be ready to explain how he overlooked nearly 40 payouts to a fake vendor. By Wednesday, Crestfield's legal team has already contacted the Idaho Attorney General's office. The next day, Carla's house is raided, but here's where it gets crazier. One of the investigators calls me in for a follow-up. He slides a folder across the table. You recognize this? He asks. It's an invoice. Not from Blue Pine, but from another company. This one was billing Carla's old employer back in Seattle. Guess what? It's the same scam. Fake vendor, different name, different state. Carla's been running this operation for years. I feel cold. Like I dodged a bullet I never even saw coming. But she didn't just scam Crestfield. She scammed at least 4 companies, all of them with inflated data analyst charges. All of them with some underpaid or exploited employee covering the front. And I was the last one before it blew up. 2 weeks after the raid on Carla's house, everything blows up. I walk into work on a Monday morning, grab a coffee from the break room, and see Dana standing near the elevator holding her phone. She waves me over without smiling. "It's out," she says, showing me the screen. Front page of the Idaho Business Review. Former tech manager caught in multi-state fraud ring used intern maids to cover scam, my heart skips. Right under the headline, there's a grainy photo of Carla being escorted by 2 officers, a jacket pulled over her head. But that's not what catches my attention. It's the quote underneath. "She humiliated me, underpaid me, and mocked me while stealing thousands behind everyone's back," said one former employee who broke the story. That's me. They quoted my statement from the legal affidavit. By noon, my email is full. Reporters, bloggers, former employees of Carla's old firms. 2 women from Seattle message me on LinkedIn. One says, "I scrubbed breakroom floors while she told the execs I was a junior dev. Same scam, you exposed her, thank you." I read that 3 times. The second woman, she tells me she tried to report it at her old firm, but HR ignored her and wrote her up for insubordination. Carla had a pattern. She hired desperate new grads, especially women, gave them fake titles, buried them in grunt work, and kept the money flowing through dummy firms. She did it for 5 years across 3 states. That afternoon, Crestfield holds an all-hands meeting. Dana gets up in front of the team and makes it clear. "We trusted a vendor who betrayed us, but we also had someone here who blew the whistle. That person saved us millions in damages." She doesn't say my name, but everyone turns and looks at me. I've never felt that kind of heat before. My face burns, but under it I feel something else. Relief. I'm no longer intern Maid. But then something unexpected happens. 3 days later, Carla's lawyer goes on the offensive. They release a statement. "My client, Miss Denton, acted under intense pressure from Crestfield executives to cut costs and meet unrealistic deadlines. Any errors in payment processing or employee roles were not intentional but systemic." She's trying to flip the blame. Dana calls me into her office. She's livid. "They're going to try to drag this out in court and claim she was following our policies. We need more proof she acted independently." I nod. I have an idea. I go back into my old emails, personal ones. I find screenshots I took from my first week. One in particular stands out. An email from Carla to Mark that accidentally included me in the thread. The subject line: "Let's see if she's desperate enough to scrub SD for her rent." There it is, in black and white. I forward the email to Dana. Within the hour, she sends it straight to the prosecution team. The trial begins a month later. Carla shows up in court with her hair dyed and glasses on, like a different person. Mark isn't at her side. In fact, he testifies against her, claiming he was manipulated and pressured into staying silent. I don't feel bad for him. In court, the prosecution shows everything: the fake invoices, the inflated billing, the HR emails, my toilet cleaning logs, my real-time data work. Then they bring me to the stand. I explain in plain terms what happened. The judge listens carefully. When I say the line from Carla's email, the courtroom goes dead silent. Carla is found guilty on all counts: wire fraud, tax evasion, labor abuse, false invoicing. She's sentenced to 9 years in federal prison. But the story doesn't end there. Because 2 months after the verdict, I get called into another meeting at Crestfield. This time, it's not Dana, it's the board. They offer me something I never saw coming: a promotion. Director of Data Integrity. Full salary, team of 6. Office with windows. All because I kept the receipts, stayed quiet when it mattered, and acted when it counted. My first day as Director of Data Integrity at Crestfield feels unreal. I walk into a new office, on the top floor this time. There's a nameplate on the door with my name, a fresh laptop, dual monitors, a team of 6 analysts who actually look at me with respect. No toilet brush in sight. My job: clean up lingering contract messes, rebuild vendor trust, and make sure no one like Carla ever slips through the cracks again. I'm good at it, because I know exactly where to look. But then, a week in, I get a visitor I didn't expect. Mark, he shows up at reception, asks to speak to me. I almost say no, but I decide to hear him out. He walks in, holding a cheap folder. His suit's wrinkled. He looks like he's aged 10 years in 2 months. I'm not here to cause trouble, he says. I just wanted to apologize. I sit down, arms folded. I don't say anything. He clears his throat. I let Carla talk me into things I knew weren't right. The cleaning, the emails, the denial of your raise. I was scared to cross her, but that's no excuse. Still, I say nothing. Then he opens the folder. Inside are a bunch of typed pages. What's this? Sworn statement. Everything she did. From the first day, she brought me in on it. I didn't give the full version in court. I want you to have it. In case she ever tries anything from inside. I skim through it. He names 3 more companies, 2 fake LLCs, even a fake name she used once in Washington state. It's useful, but I still don't trust him. Why now? I ask. He sighs, because I need a clean start, and because you deserve better than what we did. I nod slowly, then I stand. I'll pass it to legal, I say, and for the record, you should feel ashamed. But I hope you're serious about fixing yourself. Not for me, for every person you screwed over. He swallows hard. I am. Then he leaves. A month passes. My team uncovers one last hidden billing stream from the Carla era. We shut it down. Dana gives me full clearance to rebuild the vendor policy from scratch. Now, every new hire, every invoice, every hour billed goes through my department. I write the rules now. And the best part? Every week I mentor 2 junior analysts, fresh out of college, who remind me of myself. I tell them, ask questions, keep proof, and never let anyone call you just anything. 6 months after Carla's conviction, I receive a plain envelope at work. No return address. Inside is a single sheet of lined paper. You're smarter than I gave you credit for. Enjoy the office. I'll be out in 8 with good behavior. See, I laugh. Actually laugh. Then I shred the letter and get back to work. Because Carla might get out. But I'll still be here, watching the books, guarding the team, and making sure no one ever has to scrub floors to earn their worth. Thanks for watching. If this story hit home for you, comment your city below, like, and subscribe for more true revenge stories like this. And remember, quiet doesn't mean weak. Sometimes it's the ones they laugh at who turn the whole system upside down.